Hey kids, welcome to Kids Church. Thanks for coming today. I hope you had a great week with your family. Today we're going to look at a story of a man named Habakkuk. You might never have heard about him before, but he was a prophet for God's people in Israel. The one thing we know about Habakkuk is he complained a lot. Do you ever complain when something isn't fair? Maybe your brother or sister got to go somewhere or do something that you didn't get to do. Well, today we're going to hear about what we should do when we feel like complaining. But first, let's stand and sing a song together. Good job! I think God loves hearing all your voices praising Him. Now it's time for our lesson.
Hey kids, we're starting a new series on the book of Habakkuk.
What's a Habakkuk?
It's a book in the Bible, in the Old Testament.
Can you guess the name of the guy who wrote it?
That's right, Habakkuk.
What a weird name.
Habakkuk was a prophet of God.
A prophet's job was to speak for God to his people.
It wasn't a very fun job.
God's people were always messing up and making God mad.
Whenever that happened, God would talk to the prophet about it.
And then the prophet had to talk to the people about it. The name Habakkuk means to wrestle.
That's weird. Why would you ever name your kid Wrestler? Oh.
It's a weird name, but it's good for Habakkuk.
He had to wrestle with the people all the time, telling them to stop making bad choices.
He didn't wrestle them like that. He wrestled them with his words.
He also wrestled with God, because they didn't always agree.
So he asked God lots of questions.
Why do mean people seem to get away with bad behavior? Why don't you do anything about it? Why do I have such a weird name?
God had one simple answer for Habakkuk.
God told Habakkuk to relax.
God was God, and Habakkuk was just a little man with a weird name.
I'm not that small, and it's not that weird.
Habakkuk needed to know that God had it under control. Hey, that rhymes!
And this is what God told him.
The Lord replied, "Look around at the nations. Look and be amazed. For I am doing something in your own day, something you wouldn't believe, even if somebody told you about it."
Oh boy, I wonder what God was gonna do. When you look around, things don't always make sense. Tell God about it.
And if you listen really hard, you just might hear him say what he said to Habakkuk.
R-E-L-A-X. God's got it under control.
Memory verse! Look at the proud. They trust in themselves, and their lives are crooked. But the righteous will live by the faithfulness to God. Have faith and just relax.
Looking out, it's a great big world. Where do I go? How do I fit in? Gotta keep this one thing on my mind. Maker of all the universe is on my side. And if God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, he is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? Yeah, man. God is for me. Looking out, it's a great big world. Where do I go? How do I fit in? Gotta keep this one thing on my mind. Maker of all the universe is on my side. And if God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, he is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? When I just don't understand, God is for me. When life doesn't go the way I planned, God is for me. When I just don't understand, God is for me. When life doesn't go the way I planned, God is for me. If God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me? He is my strength, he is my friend forever. God is for me, who can be against me? God is for me, who can be against me?
Now we're going to hear more about Habakkuk.
He was a normal prophet with a weird name.
Today, we're going to see that he complained because life wasn't fair.
Do you ever complain when life isn't fair?
Be honest, do you ever complain when
Your brother gets a better toy in his Happy Meal.
you get picked last for kickball?
Or when the bully in your grade wins Student of the Month.
The truth is, sometimes life isn't fair.
Good things happen to bad people, and bad things happen to good people.
It doesn't always work like that, but sometimes it does. That's what happened in the book of Habakkuk.
Habakkuk complained a lot. At first, Habakkuk complained about his friends, who were mean and rotten.
They were Israelites, and they were supposed to love God, but they didn't.
Then, God told Habakkuk that he was going to punish them.
Yeah! And God was going to use their enemies to do it.
Huh? No! So Habakkuk complained again. God's enemies were really mean. Couldn't he just send everyone to their room?
Habakkuk was acting like he knew better than God.
But God was trying to teach Habakkuk a simple lesson, the same lesson today.
Instead of complaining, we should trust God. Sometimes bad people win.
When a bully at school gets away with his shenanigans?
When you get picked last for kickball?
No matter what happens, you can trust that God is paying attention and He cares about you. Memory verse. Look at the proud. They trust in themselves, and their lives are crooked. But the righteous will live by their faithfulness to God.
We made a list of ways you can trust God instead of complaining.
Try it out the next time you feel like life is unfair.
Tell your parents how you feel.
Ask your parents to pray with you about it.
And write down 3 good things God has done for you.
Here are some activity sheets. You can do them now or after the last song. See you next week.